What's going on, guys? So this Model 3 is about to be returned on a lease, and we had it on a 2-year lease. So today we're going to go through the checklist, sit back, relax, and hopefully you don't see me lose a lot of money. So we have a checklist, and we're going to give you this checklist as well. It's basically from Tesla's, but we kind of made it a little bit more organized. But basically, the way the lease works is typically a few weeks prior to the lease maturity date, you will be asked to submit a bunch of photos. I got really busy with life and all that, so I haven't done that yet. But I'm basically going to walk through every single step of what it'll take. This car, we've been so busy with the Model Y Juniper, this car has been kind of just sitting outside. So it is absolutely disastrously dirty, and I'm sorry for that. But we are going to wash it, we're going to clean it, make sure it's in top-notch condition. There are a few areas that I will point out that we did damage a little bit, but typically they do have rules of what that means of like really bad, right? So for example, like interior, they just want to make sure that there's no weird smells or cuts, tears, and all that stuff. Exterior, the main thing they look at is, I think, 4 inches of scratches that penetrate paint. What I mean by that is, like, if you see a little hairline scratch that's on the clear coat, they probably don't care about that. But what they're looking at is 4 inches, which is actually like crazy. And then, of course, there's a bunch of stuff. They're basically looking at like everything. So based on this, I'm going to just make sure that I get the most money. And then we're going to walk you through the process. I'm going to show you how we do it on the app. I'm going to show you what I do to get the most money or the least amount of money. And I really don't know what the journey is going to entail. But we have a lot of work to do. So we're going to go ahead and we're fixing a couple things here and there. So like, for example, like I need to find this. But we'll find that out. So I'm going to go ahead and lower this, do some vacuum, and then after that I'm going to do exterior wash, and then just start cleaning everything. And this is going to look like a new car. So yeah, let's get it. Oh, one of the things that I forgot to mention is like we don't do a whole lot of modifications on this car, but they do actually ask you to remove things like vinyl and PPF and stuff like that. So we're also going to show you how to do that. Okay, so first off I am gonna remove all these aftermarket accessories like this. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep just taking stuff out of here. My family and I kind of swap cars quite often since I work on them. So I have a bunch of just random stuff. Oh, another thing is you have to make sure you return the charger and the J1772, so I gotta make sure I have that. Trying to make sure everything is good. I don't know how many layers of PPF is on this thing. It feels like 3. There you go. See that? Oh, there's like 2 layers. Okay. So one of the things too is that Tesla does require you to remove PPF and any, basically they said like accessories and mods, right? So that includes PPF. So look at the difference though. This is PPF, and that's, I mean, to be honest, it's a very dirty car. I understand, but it just like, that looks pristine, absolutely pristine. So I have also PPF in these areas. I actually put PPF day 1 in this area right here, so I'll show you how clean that looks. That looks like day 1. Feels pretty easy. Sometimes it's residue, but you can see right now we use Avery Denizen, and like that's residue, but typically a trick is like use the adhesive to pull it back, and typically that works. The worst is like when the adhesive's separate, and this sometimes does. I'm going to be totally honest with you. Okay. Oh, we just installed this for another video we were doing, right? These vinyl right here. We actually have vinyl pretty much. Maybe help me out right here. Let's take that out, and then like this is the best part about these mods. It's like if you are on a lease, you can remove all this. So while you're owning it or driving it, you could kind of have it the way you want. And then I think the key though is make sure you use really top quality film, and that will save you a lot of time later on, right? Because if you use kind of poor quality, you're going to suffer later on. You can see that Avery Denizen or 3M removes really nicely like that, as you see. And then look at that. Oh, hold on. Where those just go. So close, but still very easy. And then you got one more over here. This one's hard because same issue. Double time, you could actually use your adhesive to get some dirt, just dirty. Rowdy. Yeah. That one I don't think I can remove. I mean, I can, but I don't think they'll care, if I'm being honest. All right, so I think I'm good. Parents will understand. Yeah, so when we first got this car, we actually did a video about how to do your doors, and that's in our YouTube channel. It's still on it. I forgot to remove it. But it's pretty warm today, so I think it's actually a good day to remove. You just don't want it cold. Cold tends to separate the layers. I just want to get a start. There you go. I usually do have my steam gun, but I think for today I'm just going to try to the main thing is kind of like what you see us do is like we're pulling it towards ourselves. Try to meet in the middle. Oh. Awesome. Really not that bad. So we're going to go ahead and put it back down. We're going to wash it real good. We do need to remove this though. Watch out. You just don't want it leveraging and like digging in. You see what I'm saying? This is actually a very clean removal. Yeah. I didn't really put it all the way on, honestly, though. And then I also got this one right here. I actually have it under vinyl. So this should... By the way, this is like pretty much impossible to remove without damaging. So typically if I'm doing a car and I'm going to remove this, I'll just buy a new one. Just being totally honest with you. You got to be careful though. It digs in. It's a metal thing right here and it will dig in. It is still metal. And then I'm going to just park it inside. You don't have to open it yet. I guarantee you this is like 99% Cheerios. I'm not like really going to do like a insane detail, but I am going to do my best to get it clean, you know. So there's quite a bit of stuff I kind of missed. So one of them is I did PPF these trims. Mainly because there's been some cases where they kind of look like they have water spots all the time. So we came out with a product where once you clean it once, you could just put this film or paint protection film on it like this, and then it doesn't do that again. So it's actually quite nice. So it almost looks OEM, like it's not even there. And of course, it also protects the trim, but you can see that it removes fairly easily. And for the most part, all the PPF remove pretty easily. So far, at least. I forgot the pillar on this side. Oh, there's vinyl still? Um, there we go. I mean, our kit went all the way in. Jesus. So, highly not recommend do what I do. This I actually have just a couple days until I have to return this lease. You should give yourself at least like 2 to 3 weeks, to be honest, so you can kind of give Tesla enough time as well. So I think what I'm doing right now is actually quite non-recommended, but life gets busy, you know. So if you're in my boat, and this is what's happening to you, well, you now have a reference as well. Man, it's spotless, huh?
Yeah.
Or not spotless, but pretty dang close. I'm screen recording this, so we'll show you what I'm actually looking at. But February 17, about 3 weeks prior, they give you a lease return inspection. So I'm going to actually start the complete inspection right here. And then it goes into a link right here, and then you have to basically report your damages. And it's better to report than trying not to, and then they inspect it and then they say something to you, right? So add photos of dents, scratches, or other damage present on the vehicle. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to, this is kind of annoying because, all right, so like this one right here, this is really light, but it is a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and take a photo of that. And then basically it's somewhere around here. And then take a photo of it. It's very light. I'm going to try to make sure. And I want to be as transparent as possible. Oh, that's the best one. It's very light, guys. So, custom damage. That's like the one that I saw that was like bad. And then on the other fender, it's a smaller one. You can see right here, it's right by the rocker. So it's kind of like here as well. And then I'm going to photo of that as well. If I'm being totally honest, I didn't see anything else. Did you see anything else earlier? And I'm going to go next vehicle. And then look at this. This is kind of cool. You can see the hair right here. And then I think I passed. Rear. Yeah, this is expensive though. Rear penny test. You see that? So like trunk. And then we can go to financing. Maturity date is in 2 days. I think I know what's going on. So when I took delivery of the Model Y Juniper Standard, I accidentally pushed the button that I was going to return this lease. I did not mean to do that. And so it kicked it. And so if you look on my app, it says start early lease termination, prepare to take delivery of the Model Y. So like that, I already took delivery of that, months ago? What is that, like 6 months ago or more? And it still like is there. So I don't have the option right now to do the lease, I guess, return on my app. And if I do anything else like transfer or totaled or purchase, like it just gets ineligible because it's already set to this setting right now. And then if you do contact support, you do get a number, but then they use email. So my advice on getting early on this stuff is very much take advantage of the time. I did not do that at all. So yeah, I think I just have to wait until Tesla. But on the other hand, I'm just gonna go and finish kind of getting the car ready. I have a couple things I need to do in terms of putting the logo back, getting the charger ready, the J1772, all the key cards, pretty much all that stuff, and then I think that's it. that's that. All right, so security and drivers. Okay, the key card is now added. So this one works. Now I just need to add a key card again. That one worked, and then you just put, and then now these two are working. I actually submitted the inspection photos. I thought I could add stuff later. So unless you're fully 100% sure that your photos are good, make sure you don't complete it or like do all of them. I forgot to put like the logo, for example. Like that's really easy. So hopefully they don't take that off. And then I sent it to, I used leasereturns@tesla.com, and then I sent them the additional photos. I got my tow hook cover over here. I also added back the Tesla logo that we debadged when we first got it. We kind of like that look anyway. So we got all that done. But overall, I think the car's in really good condition, have no issues. We're gonna go over some of our checklist. So here's the thing, the number one thing is confirm your mileage. I'm like 8,000 under what they gave me. So I mean, I'm plenty fine. The basic thing that they want to look for is like, is it really, really bad? Excessive wear. And honestly, there's almost no stains in that car. No cuts, tears, or rips. Strong odors, no. There's all the components are in there and everything works. So honestly, I didn't have any issues. I might wipe it down the inside just a little bit. A couple of grime here and there, but it's gonna come off. And then the exterior, what they're looking for is 4 inches. That penetrate paint, I actually don't have any that is 4 inches long. If anything, I have maybe an inch. I don't have any real big dings, to be honest. And then I don't really have a whole lot of chips. We, for the most part, had PPF on this car. We have no rust or corrosion, no paint damage or mismatch repainting, none of that. Glass and lens, completely fine, 0 cracks. Tires and wheels, they actually told us to do the penny test, which is kind of funny. And that makes sense because everybody has a penny around, I guess. Maybe not. It was kind of hard to find nowadays. But you cannot see the top of the head. So that was what they were looking for. So they actually tell you to take all the photos, which we did. And then I'm going to go ahead and put some air on it. It's like 34 just because we haven't been driving it. There was no mechanical. I mean, we drove it back and forth here. There was no issues. I lost my key cards completely. But one thing I learned was you can actually use your app to program other key cards. So we have a lot of key cards here. We just don't know what car it is. We should definitely label them. But we just have a lot laying around. But we found 2 and then we reprogrammed them. So we do have 2. So they do check for that. There's no missing or broken parts at all. All the aftermarket we've removed, PPF and all. We basically remove all of that. And then after that, you go through your app and then you do the return process like I showed you earlier. And then they're supposed to let you know. They said typically about a week. I'm like, I have like 2 days left. So like they said they're gonna push it. So I called Lease Returns or actually emailed them and they called me and then basically said, hey, I could get you in. So we're actually dropping off tomorrow at 2 p.m., which is a Friday. So we're like a day early. But they did say they do give you a 2-day grace period, or on the phone they told me that. So if they didn't get back to me, they might, give me until Monday to return it without giving me a fee or something like that. So I'm very interested. But from my knowledge, what happens is when you return it, there's not like a formal, like a dealership inspects it and does all that stuff. And then like all of that happens on the spot. What actually happens is when you do all the photos, it gets sent to a remote team wherever they are, and then they do the inspection. And then a couple weeks later that you get either the bill or you're good or whatever. So I don't know, we might release this video and then we might give you an update on exactly like how much we got. So I can't actually give you that information, but we'll give you tomorrow when we actually drop it off, you'll get to see some of that. And then I'll try to ask a few other questions too so that we can and this is my first time, so we can really just kind of give you an overview of how it actually works for Tesla at least. But before I go there, I'm also going to clear my personal data. I might as well do that today. And then I got 2 key cards already. And then I want to put some air, and then that's pretty much it. And then this car say bye-bye, and then maybe get another one. I don't know. So Got a few other things to do, but we are going to have this checklist available. This is from Tesla, but we just wanted to make it a little bit easier, so this will be free for you to download. So oh, might be a little loud, but while this is airing out, we have a lot of stuff. So we're gonna try to limit it, like one person can get one thing. Like floor mats will be one thing. We're not gonna split that out. But we have spoilers, we have EV eject, we got rear door sills for the Model 3, we got a whole mat set, we got a trunk and frunk set. What else do we have? We got some organizers for behind the screen, and then we also have rear trunk organizers for the rear, which actually, if you're a parent, it's awesome for diapers. So you can actually cover it with a lid. So we're gonna give that all away. It's just gonna be a first come, first serve. Just email us at support@DIYWrapClub.com, or comment on the video with what you want. Again, you get just one, and then we're gonna verify. Also, we would like to only give it to people who actually has a Model 3, so we might ask for a selfie or something of your Model 3 so that we give it to an owner. It's not people trying to sell it or anything like that. But this is really cool. This was, we sell these air pumps as well. All right, so I didn't have to do this, but I just polished it a little bit. There was a little bit of residue on here, so I was just very, very quick polish. One thing that I did notice though during this lease experience is when you get close, man, you get bombarded like crazy from Tesla, because they see it as opportunities like to upsell. So you can actually do like an early termination, and then they'll like basically waive like $500 in credit. It's called disposition fee, and then they'll like put it towards the next car or whatever. So I mean, they start doing that like months before. We got it pretty clean, and then basically all you have to do next, factory reset. There you go, and then you put your password, and then are you sure you want to erase all data? Clear camera and reset. Yes. Yes. And that's pretty much it. It's basically going to delete like all your profiles, your phone, your Bluetooth, pretty much the screen turns off, and it takes a little bit of time. We're not trying to make it like spotless or anything, just more so. Last drive with the Model 3. This is, how many Model 3s have I owned? I got my 2018, got my 23. This is 23, I think.
This is 24.
24? Oh, yeah, you're right, 24. This is our second one, actually. I think we've owned more Ys, to be honest. But I already got to reset it. I believe when I drop it off, I'm supposed to remove it from my app. I don't know, I'm hoping I get a little bit more visibility of like the whole process, because I'm not gonna lie, like I wish it was, I know the app is supposed to like make things a lot easier, but in a sense, like I had an interesting scenario where I had that bug where like it thought I was returning this car for early lease termination. So that kind of kicked it off a little bit differently than what it would have been. So then, there wasn't a whole lot of information outside of, them saying like, oh, just go to the app or whatever. So I think that's one feedback I have. But I mean, other than that, I got the car all ready. Oh, I forgot. I just reset it, so my autopilot doesn't work. Don't know how to drive without autopilot nowadays. Okay. All right, but we got it set to Tesla. It just kind of brought me back though, like back in the day when I first picked up our first Tesla, when the Teslas, and if you know, you know, when you first picked up your Tesla in 18, like your navigation wouldn't update immediately and it would stay in Fremont for like hours sometimes. So I remember when I first picked it up, it was on Fremont and it wasn't really like, the nav wasn't updating on time. So like now, like that's not an issue, that's already been fixed and stuff like that, but just kind of shows like those early stages of Model 3 and where it's been. And this is such a good upgrade from the 2018. They learned everything they need to learn from that car, and then they basically, you know, put it into this, and it's such a good one. And now there's even more options, right? They got the front camera option, and then you also have the standard, or they don't call it a standard anymore, right? They just call it rear-wheel drive and all-wheel drive, I think. But yeah, it's been it's always a fun time. It doesn't feel sad because we've had a lot of good memories on it, a lot of good instructionals that we've shot with this, and just a lot of videos in general. So it's just been overall very fun. But yeah, once we get in, we're basically just gonna return the 2 keys, take out my license plate, and then from my knowledge, you're just supposed to drop it off, and I have an appointment for 2 p.m. It's 1:45, we're gonna be there a little bit earlier. That's totally fine. And then you drop it off and that's it. From my knowledge, that's all you do. And then after that, the remote team is going to basically audit all your photos, and you do all the inspection as we showed you. And then they tell you how much you owe them. I think that's how it works. So we're gonna do another part 2 video, I think, of just kind of like the aftermath. I think what's really important that we aren't gonna be able to cover just because we don't know when we're gonna get it back is like how much money are we gonna get charged, right, for some of the small damages and some of the things that we pointed out while we were washing and kind of getting everything ready. But I think this is a pretty clean return, if I'm being honest. I mean, like the interior, there's no gash, there's no damage on the interior, there's really not any of that. So I just can't imagine it being a crazy amount. I mean, they might look at the rear badge maybe or something like that. We did have to re-put that on there, but maybe, I'm not sure, so we'll see. We're home. You're home. Back to your owner. Man, that X looks amazing. Maybe that's calling my name. Right over here.
The red one?
Hey, that's a Cybertruck we've wrapped before. That's one of ours.
Oh, the camo?
Yeah.
I remember that.
The digital camo that we did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man,
Cool.
You're all set. Do you have any other questions about anything?
What happens, like, what's the disposition time period of, like, when do we get, like, a bill or whatever? Like, or typical time frame of when we'll be hit with a bill or no bill?
It really just depends. Like, you have the 2 keys.
Yeah.
As long as there's no damage on the wheels or anything, there shouldn't really be any type of return or any type of billing on your end. So
Yeah.
we've returned it early, not early, but with the miles like lower.
Yeah, way lower.
Yeah. So as far as that goes, you guys should be all right.
Sweet.
I don't see any reason why this should hit you with anything.
All right, so basically that was really easy. I already got an email. It says a $0 final invoice has been applied to your Model 3 lease. Payment $0 is due on March 6th, which is none. So let me look into that. Let me see the invoice.
That was fast.
Yeah, I don't know if that's like the actual like fees. I mean, we'll find out, but like kind of like what he said, he kind of did look at it though. Like he did look at it, he checked the VIN, he checked the odometer. So I mean, they're doing something, right? But I think maybe the other guys are probably gonna do like the secondary check maybe. But I had everything, like I had the 2 keys, I did put everything back to its original form. There really wasn't a whole lot. I mean, I do have some cracked covers, but I mean, surely that's just like a wear and tear maybe, I don't know. We'll find out. But like, I'm not trying to, I think the best deal is like to be as honest as possible. So guys, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, let us know in the comments below. We're gonna say bye to our Model 3 Highland, and we're gonna go into our car and drive back, and we'll probably get another one, but we'll see. See ya.